Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the most electrifying podcast in sports entertainment. Welcome to UTR Presents The Raw Deal. It's me, your boy, former two-time champ, now got no belts. Yep, Camilio Dior. That's me. Yeah. Joining me, our street team captain, the man who just ran amok out in NYC Comic Con.
Man,
Give it up for our boy, the OTJ, aka Only Tito J. Give it up for our boy, Tito.
What's going on, UTR? Listen, a time was had at New York City Comic Con and House of Glory last Friday. I am beat. I am tired. Shout out to my man, the Macho Verse, for putting together a dope wrestling cosplay at meetup at Comic Con. Like, shout out Queen of the Ring podcast for posting all these dope ass cosplays, including myself and my boy Jersey George, all
right.
over the internet. Like, it was fucking phenomenal.
That's what's up. That's
What's up,
what's up.
dude?
And he was out there repping UTR, handing out the business cards as always. Our street team captain, always at work, even when he's at play. And joining us last but definitely not least, folks, one of the people who stole one of my titles. Cause that man, once that man gets a damn theme song category, he's gonna run the whole category and get
No,
every goddamn point.
Greg had it the old way that Greg had it, yeah. The new way with its Jeopardy, no.
And the bullshit was, if my feed wouldn't have went out, you might not be champion right now. Cause I was on my comeback when my feed went out and I couldn't do nothing. We're joining us, the Are You Fucking Serious of Game Show champion, the final Maddie, the man who runs NWO. Give it up for Maddie Reigns.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I am usually I go straight home, but it's Louisville Beer Week here in Louisville, Kentucky. From the
Man is
18th
getting nice.
from the 18th to the 27th, there's like at least like 15 to 20 breweries just doing a bunch of special one-offs, like concerning beer. They're doing collabs, and they're just doing sales. Like they're just doing little just special things. So like one of the ones just up the street from my job, they were doing keep the mug, and I needed a new beer mug, so I got me a beer mug for $12, and I got me beer, and I had another beer on top of that. So happy
It
Monday.
sounds it sounds like every day for this week is gonna be tasty. It's gonna be tasty Tuesdays for you.
Like it started Friday night. I watched half of SmackDown because the first half I was at a brewery getting their special, like the start of their stuff. Then that's what I showed y'all. I bought the 2 bottles of that time. That was a barrel aged. It's a barrel aged Imperial Stout. That's I think it's 12%. Then the collab, they did a collab. The brewery they did a collab with, they responded to my post on IG and was like, "Hey, come to us, try the German chocolate variant of this beer." I already had the pineapple, so they like come to us, get the German chocolate variant. Then they did another collab with one of my favorite breweries up in Cincinnati. So I'm like, oh shoot, I definitely gotta go over there. So I'm probably gonna go there tomorrow. And then like basically, like you said, almost every day this week, I'm probably gonna be leaving the house instead of staying in like I usually do. And it decided to warm up. It's normal weather here in Louisville. It's 75.
It was 80 here today. It was 80 here today. Nobody ain't know how to act. We were like, wait, what the shit? It was first off, the bullshit was it was 45 in the morning.
Yeah,
So
I
it
had
was
my
freezing.
coat on with a hoodie, and then I'm walking around with my coat in my hand going to the brewery. And
Right.
I'm like, I hate when this happens, but I love it because last week I would have still been wearing this coat.
Last week was freezing. This week is on Hellfrica. Like, I don't know what the like I put all my summer shit up. and then for it to be 800 degrees today, fuck me all up.
Right.
They're walking with a long sleeve shirt on, sweating,
Yes,
sweating.
Felicia. She said, "Wait, German chocolate." Yes, that the Butchertown Brewing, here in Louisville, they did a collab with Atrium Brewing with a stout. The stout is just it tastes like without them doing their variations of it. It tastes like you're drinking a liquid Samoa's, or as they like to call it politically correct now, caramel delights. I like caramel Samoa's because shout out to the Samoans, Roman Reigns, yeah, Bloodline baby.
Yo, one day, folks, we're actually going to do a whole podcast, and Matt's going to be the lead, and it's going to be a whole podcast about beer.
So yeah,
And,
they did a liquid Samoa's basically, and then Atrium did a variation adding pineapple juice. So it's
well,
like
cookies.
so you drinking pineapple Samoa's, and then Butchertown Brewing did German chocolate. So then you're getting German chocolate Samoa's, and they both
Yeah,
like 11%.
yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta
we
visit
need to do that
Louisville.
beer one.
I
We need
gotta
to do
visit
that beer
Louisville.
cast.
I gotta visit Louisville. I'm about to come sleep on Matt's couch for a weekend and just hit up every brewery with this man. That's what I'm about to do.
And
Yeah,
and with this new job, I'm letting y'all know now, it's like this background gonna probably be changing in the next few months because my lease is about to be up. I'm trying to move
well, let's get into some wrestling news before we get into where Matt moving to for me to stay on the couch.
to a brewery.
Right. First things first. We got some sad news. Our
Well,
baby is leaving WWE. Oh
man,
God.
I was shocked to see that because I hit y'all with that news. And
Right.
so I was scrolling through Instagram because guess what, y'all? I wasn't doing nothing today. It was Monday. Don't nobody want to do work on Monday. Not even the people that train me. So I was sitting there just doing nothing. I happened to see that. And I'm like, wait, what's? I'm like,
Right,
what? Twitter? No. I'm like, oh no, notes app. What's this? I'm like, is she? Oh no, she's leaving. Like,
what I am referring to, ladies and gentlemen, is everyone's favorite ring announcer, the beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous Miss Samantha Irving is leaving WWE. No, folks, she was not fired. As of now, she is. There is nothing about her going to AEW. If you follow Samantha Irving on her social media or anything like that, you will see, yes, she is in a serious relationship with Ricochet,
right.
but she is in a more serious relationship with her music career.
Mm-hmm. That
This
girl can
woman
sing.
wants to, this woman wants to be a musician, and she can sing, and that's probably what she's going to do. She's going to try to fulfill her dream. Michael Buffer even made a comment. As we all know, Michael Buffer, the legendary boxing ring announcer, made a comment that him and his wife are going to miss seeing her on Monday Night Raw and WWE, and hopefully he'll get to work with her one day, maybe in boxing or MMA, which is probably something that she can do. At this point, she has made such a big enough name for herself, and she is well known enough that she can go to boxing or MMA and make absolute great money.
And not for nothing, I didn't even realize we've had her for like the last 3 years. So her contract was probably up.
Right. Maybe
Right.
even
Like
I think we even had her. We probably even had her for longer than that. We
yeah, we've
probably
had her for a long time. It's just that she started, I believe she started in NXT because she was there even before Ricochet. Her and Ricochet started dating.
right.
But it's just like I was shocked she's leaving. But once Michael Buffer said what he said, it's just like, you know what? She is multi-talented. Like she plays the flute. She's a really good flautist. Um, she's a great singer. Like she does a
Right.
lot. and she's just great at ring announcing. So it's like while I am like got all eyes on me, hey, how about I step
Venture out.
away and try and do something else? Because at the end of the day, she can always do ring announcing.
Right.
And didn't she just sing the anthem at somebody's game, or was it a football game or a basketball game?
Yeah, the Raiders game yesterday, I
Yeah, she sang
believe.
at the Raiders game. Yeah. No, last week. She sang it last week at the Raiders game because her and
Okay.
Rey Mysterio were
Yeah.
there and stuff like that. Yeah, so listen, she's beyond talented. She's very much talented, and we'll miss her. What I want to know is what happened to our girl Alicia?
She's
Like,
on she's on SmackDown.
but I feel like every time there's a big match going on SmackDown, Mike Rome is back and not her.
And Mike Rome he's supposed to
NXT.
be NXT because he super promotes NXT.
What you call it? Apparently, Lillian Garcia is apparently backstage at
Yeah.
Raw today.
Yeah, I saw something that she's gonna be the person for now, which is, I guess. I'm not. It ain't like I don't like Lillian Garcia. It's just like, all right, y'all just kind of just ripping the Band-Aid. Y'all just like, oh, well, damn. And here's your substitute teacher. Like, but I like my teacher.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm one of the few people that I don't dislike Lillian Garcia, but I wasn't a big fan of hers the way everyone else was.
How would you? Like, she was cool. Like, I liked her.
Right.
She wasn't
Like,
somebody that I'm like, oh man, Lillian Garcia.
right. Like, I'm not getting hyped because Lillian Garcia is showing up to do an ring announcing. Like, nah, I'm not. Like, it's not like how it was when Howard Finkel would come back and do one every
Right.
now and then. When the Fink came back, it was like, oh, Fink is here. Let's get it.
Like,
You
I
know
would
what I mean?
probably get more geek if I saw Tony Chimmel because then
Yeah.
he was the rated R superstar.
Right.
Hey! Oh shit, Tony Chimmel here.
Right. Good, not great. Good, not great, but not exactly cookies. Exactly cookies. Exactly. Good, not great, but it wasn't bad. But it was, it was. She was high.
Like,
She was
Lillian was
like
good.
when somebody's like literally the definition of
She was
high.
great.
Like she's literally the definition of high. You know when somebody be like, they high, they cool. Like that's literally how I feel when it was regards to Lillian. Not saying that she wasn't, top tier at that time in that era. She was, but for me, she was high.
Great.
She's cool.
She paved the way for Samantha.
Basically.
Like my man Roger Smith from American Dad says, I'm 50-50 on her. Okay, 50-50. So, but we wish Samantha the best in whatever she does,
Right.
and we know she'll succeed. And before we get into the bad news that we have, since we're mentioning Samantha and her boyfriend is in AEW, let's go to the AEW news before we get to the actual WWE news real quick.
Okay.
Apparently, basically to paraphrase in Kenny terms, quote unquote, folks, did you hear what I just said? Paraphrase in Kenny terms. Not saying that this is exactly how it is.
Meaning
But
this is just how Kenny says shit.
This is just how Kenny says shit. All right? Just let that be known. Don't go back and say, oh, I heard this news. Nah, this paraphrase in Kenny terms. Basically, AEW and New Japan are butthurt at the way Stephanie Vacour bounced after Forbidden Door. That's Kenny terms.
It's and to make it even so basically what has happened is AEW noticed
How
that
quickly?
they noticed that they basically got played like a fool. They was just used as basically a launching pad for her to go to WWE. And they saw that like, we not about to have this happen. So now they're like, you know what? If you show up
Damien,
on
do
Forbidden
you even
Door,
know how tall I am? Do you even know how tall I am? I know one thing. I'm nice and tall when I'm on your mama's back.
oh
How about
goodness.
that one?
God damn. I was gonna ask if he could even stand on his own 2 feet.
That's all right. I'm nice and tall on your mama's back, and my wallet makes me tall every time I sit down. Remember that, Damien.
That's definitely what it is, Cookies. So basically what happened is they AEW is, if this is true, AEW is being super petty. Because
Yeah,
all they basically noticed is, all right, we're tired of y'all. Like Forbidden Door is supposed to be y'all showing up here to showcase y'all self against us. Don't be using us to go to WWE like Stephanie did. And
basically,
they
what
essentially
happened?
are being petty and butthurt, like Kenny said, if this is true. Like
It's all love,
I
Damien. It's all
understand,
love.
I can fully understand. Like I see it
Eh,
on both ends. Yeah,
right.
y'all tired of being used like that. But that only happened one time. Like it's not gonna happen all the time.
Okay. Well,
And
let me explain what's going on. Basically, what happened is AEW and New Japan have basically are from what we are hearing from rumors that they are basically putting a new rule in that if you work the Forbidden Door card, you cannot immediately leave to go to WWE or the competition. Here now, that's basically what they say. What's good, Batty? That's basically what the rule is saying. But
what up, man?
here's the full report from Fightful. Stephanie Vakura headed to WWE immediately after working AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door, and we've been able to get some reactions within the industry following her NXT in-ring debut. Um, those we have spoken to around the Mexican wrestling scene are of belief that Vakura will not need to return to the scene and excited accordingly. Sources in AEW did say that she made a good impression with her Mercedes feud, but they could tell shortly after Forbidden Door that WWE had reached out and that was she eventually head to the company. How how quickly it came together surprised many. Sources in AEW say that they understood the element of WWE wanting a great talent that they were also after, but didn't quite understand the element of pulling her from CMLL dates before she could drop a title that she needed to drop. However, when she was quickly turned around and wrestled on the WWE Mexican shows, that elevated some of the criticism compared to her simply being signed and pulled off shows. Thus far, WWE have appeared to be very happy with Vicur, and she appears to be enjoying her time there. New Japan and AEW sources believe that it is likely that talent that worked Forbidden Door or co-promoted AEW shows in the future would have to make an agreement to not immediately go to WWE, likely just under contract as opposed to a separate agreement. Basically, they mad that Stephanie said, "Oh, I've been waiting to get on regular TV for these American folks to see me. Thank you, AEW. Hey, how
And,
y'all doing? WWE, what's happening? What's
and
happening?"
basically,
It sounds like TK mad.
it's smart, but it's dumb at the same time.
It's kind of petty. It's showing like Mongo said. It's showing that it's showing that that the Forbidden Door only works one way. It only works AEW's way. Like Mongo was bringing up before. He was like, "Well, what does that mean for other talent that work with them, like TNA a JPW. You know what I mean? There are other promotions that work with AEW and New Japan.
GCW, CMLL.
Like, so does that mean they can never work with WWE? And we know that's not going to happen because TNA and WWE are like fucking this right now.
That's why
So
that's why I'm saying that's why I said it was like it's smart, but it's dumb all at the same time. Because in NBA terms, I don't know if people that are watching follow the NBA, but haven't y'all always like found it like the NBA isn't stupid. They at some point in time they just said, you know what, we gotta stop. Everybody gotta stop playing stupid. Isn't it always like when let's just say free agency is July 1st. But why is it on June 30th we're already getting deals announced? Because them niggas already been fucking talking. They just ain't been out in the open. All Stephanie did was put her shit out in the open that she had already been talking to them. Like, if she had, and then the NBA got so tired of it that they just said, you know what? It's going to be called the legal tampering period.
mm-hmm.
Because they got tired of, oh yeah, free agency is July 1st, but we already know if you're not LeBron James or somebody like that, your deal going to be announced at 9 p.m. June 30th. Like,
Right.
they're going to be all breaking news. This person's going to the Lakers at 11 p.m., but it won't be official until July 1st. Until midnight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay. So, like, it's like, yeah, it's smart, but at the same time, y'all might as well just let legal tampering happen. Because
At this point, it's right.
More often than not, it's not most, like, what happened with Stephanie is probably going to happen once in a blue moon. Everybody else is just going to be like, my contract is up, I'm gone. Or what's going to happen now is, all right, I'll show out at Forbidden Door. And then y'all going to say, oh, I can't negotiate a contract for what, 2 months or whatever. All right. So on month 3, what up, WWE? Like, what are y'all really stopping? Y'all just saying I can't talk to WWE for an X amount of time. Like, all right.
And the thing about it is,
go up. Y'all just y'all ain't hurt nobody. Y'all, you hurting TKO's pockets? No.
you know what it is? You know what it is? Honestly, AEW is still reeling, honestly, from the fact that WWE got Cody back and Jade. Like that Cody and Jade coming to WWE was big. Will Ospreay and Okada going to AEW, that's big too.
And then
The difference is two people that's been on American TV already going to the even bigger American show, whereas two people who have not been on American TV coming to America.
And
That's
what they're doing with Ethan Page and my boy Lexus Kane. True, they on TV more and are known more than they ever was on AEW.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. To be honest, you know who I remember most out of that fucking tag team? That my man Griff.
Yeah, Griff Garrison.
I remember Griff more than I remember fucking Brian Pillman Jr.
Hey.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
R.I.P. Brody Lee.
Like, I remember Griff. You know what I mean? So it's like the Forbidden Door only works for them. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's
like
essentially what they're saying. Like, if you're gonna cross over into the Forbidden Door, you can
better be to us.
AEW.
There's no exit.
You only go into AEW. Ain't no other Forbidden Door. Or you gonna pause you for X amount of time, which is dumb because I'll just gonna be like, all right, pause me. I'll take the pause.
And the thing about it is they act like Forbidden Door is the first of its kind. This shit has been going on for the longest. The absolute longest. Like I told y'all before, I think I told y'all in the chat one time. The way I found out about the Legion of Doom was from their time in Japan. That's where from tapes that my dad sent away for. I saw them there first. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like I this whole two promotions fighting each other and shit like that. Forbidden Door, you're not the first one. Yeah, Cookies. I'm 43 years
All,
old, Cookies.
all this is Forbidden Door is the updated version of the Super Show Ring of Honor New Japan used to do. What was it? Super G1 of Honor.
Yeah, and yo, listen, it's this, and I put it in the chat. It's the same thing that Worlds Collide was.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that Starcast was. It's the same thing that WCW brought forward. All like it's always been like that. It's always been like that.
No,
Like
that's me,
Forbidden
Cookie.
Door, right? Cookies. That's Matt. Nah, I'm literally the old man of the show. I'm the oldest person on the show at 43 years old. My oldest daughter is 23. So I'm an old man. I'm definitely an old man. This gray is for real. This ain't just the lighting. You know what? Cookies gets an
They,
extra point just for that, and you
they
get
really
one taken
thought
away.
they really thought you was delirious.
What is this t- promotions working with another promotion is nothing new. AEW, honestly, and
WWE is just
if you
in the
can't get mad
forbidden
at
door.
WWE, you can't get mad at WWE for doing what they did to start themselves. That's how they started themselves. They saw a talent from another
That's
fucking
literally how they started. Like Vince went around and told people, like, "Hey, you either sign with me and you get this money, or you
you
don't, and then
stay
I put you out of business, and then you
right,
sign with me regardless."
right. Low key, Vince McMahon was the first Beanie Siegel in what you call it in state property. You either get down or you lay down. That's exactly what he told them, and that's exactly how it happened. You either get down and I pay you, or you lay down and I buy you out, and now I can pay you even less.
Right, because you said no.
Right, and you ain't got no choice now.
Y'all see how he
So
did Jeff Jarrett? He made an example out of Jeff Jarrett. Because that man on the last, when he lost that IC title to China, he asked for Vince McMahon. He asked for not only his contract, but for the money he essentially turned down in the contract. So he asked for $350,000. Told that man, don't take the money out of WWE's pocket. Take it out of, because the pay-per-view was happening in Cleveland. He said, take it out of the Gundarinas purse, what they're going to rake in tonight. So Vince was like, all right, got Jeff Jarrett, got that man for $350,000, then went out there and lost to China, and then showed up the next night in WCW.
mm-hmm.
Like, damn.
Yo, it happened. Like, so AEW, just stop. Stop with the whining. It happens. That's wrestling, bro. Like that's literally how every wrestling promotion gets their top talent. Literally.
Right.
Every wrestling promotion gets their top talent that way. Cuz if you think about it, AEW, the guys that started AEW, you Tony Khan, you stole the Bullet Club from New Japan.
Yeah, he essentially rated New Japan their top acts, in which they are just now.
Exactly.
They've just now, in the last 2 to 3 years, have started to recover. And even then, even as they're recovering, they're still rating them because they get people like Jay White. Jay White would be bigger in New Japan, honestly, if instead of being
Hmm.
in AEW.
Ex-
But
he was
AEW,
world champion. Okay.
like, think about the people that are just now becoming champions in New Japan, but think about all the people that are in AEW. Like Zack Sabre Jr., like all them sort of folks. Will Ospreay even got a little run before he eventually left. Like,
Whoa. They still got my boy Sonata. Don't play with my boy Sonata.
they gonna keep them. They gonna keep them. They gonna be loyal to the soil. But everybody else is like, depending on how much money we're getting.
Tanahashi's retiring.
Right. Everybody else is either Tanahashi
you be
or
wondering about the weirdest shit, son.
What, Damien? You know what? That's a we need to ask Tony Atlas that.
right.
That's a Tony Atlas question. He'll tell you. He'll tell you.
11 of
Wait, like I said, every wrestling promotion does it though, so you can't get mad when it's done to you. It seems like we've said before, it's okay, and like Cookies brought up earlier, like it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay when somebody else does it to you.
About 11 of them.
Probably. I don't think he ever liked his daddy anyway. Well, fucking Tony Allen. I can't believe that fucking guy, yo. But speaking of that, and speaking of WWE,
right, that's a good segue. Let's
right,
talk about this shit.
let's might as well get this shit out the way. It appears that 6 former writers have come forward with some details of what it was like working at WWE, and it goes from everything from verbal humiliation all the way to sexual assault. Vince was a dick. One writer, and the thing about it is, it's not like these people are telling just random people. This is a article from out of Rolling Stone. 6 former writers from the years of 2002 to 2006, I believe it said.
Yeah, it was basically anytime we were all watching.
Right. Between 2002 and 2006, they ranged in working a span of 4 months to the entire frame of the 4 years. It appears that Vince had done things as far as humiliating them and calling them out their names in the middle of the meeting. Like, this is I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a pretty long article, and I'm not gonna read all of it.
Yeah,
I'm really not
on there for free. Essentially, a lot of that shit that I read, honestly was not shocked to read a lot of it, just because the audio book and then watching the documentary and then just knowing how Vince acts. They talk about how he deemed sneezing as weakness, so they couldn't sneeze around him. I already knew that. Now the standing up anytime Vince would enter a room as if he is a judge and not sitting down until he sits down. No, that's some bullshit.
Right.
I would do that.
WWE. It says right, WWE is a kingdom ruled by fear. One former writer tells Rolling Stone, "It's the motivating factor everywhere. Fear."
Yeah. And I've been in a work environment like that where essentially, and I'll turn my camera on, where essentially, even if you say somebody is talking about me and I don't like the way they're talking about me, they just essentially laugh at you and just say, ha ha ha, that's how we all came up. Get over it. Or ha ha ha, it's just words. That's how you build rapport. As long as you don't show fear, you'll get better. And it's like, but this is wrong. and it just becomes snowballs and snowballs because even though you know it's wrong and everybody else knows it's wrong, they're all laughing and grinning and trying to save face because they want to keep their jobs and they want to stay in the good graces of everyone. And that's essentially what the writer's room was.
Yep, because how many years was that company private?
All the way up until basically 99, 2000. And even until then, they talk about in the article where women literally would go to HR and HR would just kind of just look at them like, the fuck you in my face for? Like, they had something called a women's forum where all the women aired their grievances, and then somebody from HR essentially was like, don't come to us with this because Vince gonna come after us, and we ain't trying. We don't want no smoke with Vince. And it's like, and even the dudes at the end of the article, they do mention. Somebody says at the end of the article, they feel like no matter who is in charge, they're like, oh, Triple H is in charge now. They still feel like all this and that environment is still in place, even though Triple H is in charge. That's what they think.
Right.
I don't know. Everybody's trying to come at Triple H for everything at this point. And
that's the thing, and it's been kind of weird to me too. Like, I understand that there are some people who were there during the Vince regimen who are still there. I understand. So you would have a tendency to think, oh, there's some people that was there when the dirt was there, so who knows what they were about. You're absolutely correct. But the difference now is than what happened then is the one thing that Vince couldn't keep up with that eventually became his downfall. Social media and stuff like that. Like, that's honestly the downfall of Vince because you can't keep up with times. So if you can't keep up with times, you ain't gonna keep up with your money, you ain't gonna keep up with your hoes. You fucked up. You know what I mean? And nowadays, people are not afraid to speak up no matter what is going on. Everybody speaks up for everything. So you have people who are literally saying the culture here is so much different. The vibe is so much different. You heard just when that 1 week that Vince came back, look how many people were like, look how many reports came out about how the morale dropped, blah, 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 blah. And the minute he left, you heard no more about morale dropping. It's the highest it's been in the longest time. Just because Trips was there doesn't necessarily mean he was involved. I'm not saying he's innocent. I don't know. I was not there.
And honestly, he hasn't been named in anything.
Right.
A lot of that stuff would probably...
He's getting the backlash.
He probably... Honestly, I would essentially... He might be somebody that has to sit there and grin. Because he ain't had to go through anything. He's married. Like, he's just there. And he's just... As it's going, he's just like, yo... He wilding, but he's still my father-in-law, and he's more powerful than me, so I can't. I'm low-key powerless, even though I got power. It's just like Stephanie was. Just like at one point, Stephanie just had to be like, you know what? I'm gone. And she took that leave of absence, and then they brought her back, and now she gone again.
Right. She, like, plain and simple, like, yo, everybody seems to be enjoying their time within WWE right now. We're not hearing the same stories when people leave like they did before. Like we did before.
I know HBK turned a new leaf. Some folks try to say that he's still the same person he is, and it's like I honestly don't like me taking off my rose-colored glasses as him being my GOAT and all, just because like he's a born-again Christian and all that. Like that whole story with him, that's why I really honestly feel like he's a completely different person. And even when you mention those old days, he kind of like looks down. Like, yeah, I did that. I can't believe I did that.
Listen, Listen, when you find God and your eyeball start doing what his eyeball did, you become a very humble person and you turn your life around. When you go from being able to see just regular to now there's double of everything, oh, life becomes different. So listen, that man.
And I come to find out that's not a result of him getting beat up from those Marines. It's
Mm-mm.
just the nerve in that eye just
Loosey goosey.
it just went out. Like it's an interview where he's talking to Bret Hart, and he just basically asked him. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad you're recovering well from your stroke." And he's like, "Yeah." And he basically asked him like, "What's up? Like, what happened to your eye?" And he's just like, "Yeah, the nerve in it just decided to go out." So he's like, "Some days I can look straight," and he's like, "Some days it just says boop, boop." So he's like. He's like, it is what it is. He's like, he even says, like, as looking back on his career, like, as a character and as a man who was very vain and having a character that was very vain and everything, it's really funny that I'm essentially, like, bald and bow legged. Like, and all that has been
Nigga's a
taken
baby.
away from me.
Nigga's a baby chimp right
Like, I
now.
know that. And that's why he like everybody's like, I love you, HBK. He's like, y'all really like me? He's like, yeah. We know you still got it. Like, if I really want to look at that match, I'll watch it against you versus Undertaker and Kane, but I'm not. I'm not. You retired at WrestleMania 26.
Right. But I think that's something that people have to do too. Like, I think people do have to. It's where WWE is under a new leaf. It's not one man controlling everything now. It's
That's
they're
honestly the
under a
best thing that could have happened for them.
right.
Like,
They're under a brand. Like they're a company under a company. Like they're employees at the
like
end of the day.
Vince fucked himself over all at the same time and made himself rich. Like he came back essentially just to put them in a merger, and then he merged them with UFC to make TKO. And it's like, all right, you're super rich, but guess what? You're about to go to jail, so you're not gonna be able to enjoy your riches. So,
Exactly.
and now,
Exactly.
and now the company is in 2024. They use 2024 lingo. They use 2024 music. They use 2024 angles. Like they updated themselves. It's literally like having an iPhone, like having basically what I did over this past, like the past few months. I had essentially like I had an iPhone XR and I have an iPhone 14. Nigga, that's a big ass upgrade.
Exactly.
That's a big ass upgrade. That's what WWE just did. It went from an XR to what is out now. They got an iPhone 16 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just said, "Hey, we here," and everything. Like, and now everyone is like, "No, we gotta find some way, somehow, to show that they are still the same." I don't know what they're gonna like. We don't know until the federal government decides to reveal who they want to reveal. Like I always say, the only people we know are in that are Janelle Grant, Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and Brock Lesnar. Because
Right.
people pee.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And cookies. With regards to this, it was Garcia did back them up because everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to join NXT," and the reason being is because NXT is full of beautiful people. And Garcia was like, "I think that's insulting to them. Like you're undermining a lot of good work that they're doing over there. Like,
yeah.
yeah, just because they look good, you got to remember they're over there working their asses off too." And he's like, "I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that they do," and that's something that we do see now more like you mentioned, cookies. We do see the competition interacting with each other more, whether it be giving them compliments, whether they say shit about them or whatever the case may be. it they acknowledged him. That's something that never really happened. Back in the day, NWA did not acknowledge WWF.
Right. And the crazy thing, yeah, Garcia basically because everyone assumed the running joke was, oh, Garcia, even I was bragging like, hey, I'm about to show him Maddie's Angels, and he gonna understand that me and HBK got, hey, we want you, man. Sign the contract. He already heard all them jokes, and he basically said, nah, y'all need to stop playing. NXT is more than just booty.
Right. That's basically what he's saying.
They got actual good athletes that are actually good wrestlers. They actually put on a good program. So for y'all to just say they're just nothing but ass undermines everything that they're doing.
Right. And low key, it undermines everything that he's doing too. Like
right.
y'all is just basically saying, I'm just a pretty boy. Right.
Like we already have that character. On top of that, it's Mike's protege. It's Mike's favorite. It's Ashanti the Adonis.
Right. This nigga Ashanti.
That nigga is
already killing me. He's the horniest motherfucker I've ever seen. That nigga is
there for ass and just happens to wrestle. He just happens to get an argument because you are blocking him from the booty. That's literally that's his gimmick.
I have never seen a hornier wrestler, and I grew up with Val Venus.
Okay. Like they had that man paired up with Cedric, and they was like, "Oh, he is way too horny to be with this married dude. We gonna have you go over and go mentor this new dude over here. Hey, Javon,
come here, boy. Come on, boy.
Come here. Meet Cedric. This is Cedric. Cedric. This is a nice young man right here. Yeah, we had to get you away from that horny man. He way too horny." Ashanti was like, huh. That's all he on.
Ashanti, you know what? Ashanti reminds me of me freshman year of college. I ain't gonna lie to you. Freshman year of college, yeah, it was terrible. But what you call it? Yo, but WWE, and the thing about it is you can't just talk about how people are on TV just to look good. Everybody looks good in this day and age. Everybody look. Honestly, are there any real ugly wrestlers out there right now?
Oh, so they're gonna have somebody that look good to someone,
right?
It don't matter. They might be ugly to you, and somebody might like them. It's just like wrestling. You might not like that person, but I might be a fan of them.
Exactly. Like I don't think there's any real. Well, Von Wagner, I don't know. The Geico caveman is real. I
like Von. Come Tuesday, that was my nigga.
But I mean, but people gotta also give WWE a chance. It's not the Vince abuse era right now. They're under a company. So it's like we said, it's not one man running the show, it's a board of people running the shows. Not saying that some people might not be, not saying that every company that has a board is picture perfect. Right. We don't know what they got going on. We don't know how good they are or whatever is going on. We have no clue. But we do know this. Even when people are leaving WWE right now, no one seems to be leaving under the "oh fuck WWE" terms like how they were.
Yeah, no bridges are being burnt. Everybody is leaving on good terms, and they
right like come on, Ricochet.
If you want to,
right. They're literally right now when people are leaving WWE, it's on some, all right, man, doors open. You can come back if you want. No, we here for you.
Right. Like it's like a lot of times it's Tony Khan doing extra on top of what WWE already offers to a lot of folks. Like if because WWE now, even before Vince left, they are already offering like, oh, if you need to get help, we'll offer you more help. And then it's like Tony Khan will be like, well, you know what? They went ahead and did this, and then I gave them on like I made sure to pay out their deal for the X amount of months or whatever. It's like, well, nigga, you had to do that.
Right,
Like, for example, when Mox went to rehab, I'm pretty sure he went to the WWE mandated rehab because he was a former WWE superstar. Like, go get the shit for free instead of paying for it. If it was me, I would. If they about to pay for it, go ahead.
Right. Like, come on. I mean, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. I mean, we gotta just wait and see what goes on with everything. So until then, what's going on with Raw tonight? You got the match?
Well, tonight we are continuing the tag team title tournament.
Mm.
I'm over here trying to. They talking in the captain's chat because I over here tried to do a move just now. We got New Day taking on AOP. I don't even know who's gonna win that. And then we got representing the LWO, Rey Mysterio, and my favorite, Dragon Zord, Dragon Lee, baby, taking on the Creeds of America. I honestly don't know who's gonna win out of that.
Hold on. I do have one thing to say. And Matt, you said this when you mentioned the match. Well, Kenny was right. Didn't I fucking tell y'all Motor City Machine Guns was gonna get them fucking titles? Didn't I fucking tell y'all?
Kenny, I'll turn my camera back over that. Kenny's ass was so motherfucking right. Because my ass didn't even, I sat there and didn't even watch most of SmackDown. Remind y'all, I was at the brewery. And when I pulled up, I'm like, oh, okay, Motor City Machine Guns. I told them before I even got to the brewery, I said, hey, y'all, they showed this little video that instead of them just facing whoever they supposed to be facing, they just put them in a triple threat match in a number one contenders tournament. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh no, like Kenny is right. I'm like, oh nah, like, yep. Kenny was right. They're putting the rocket on these dudes.
They are giving them the fucking belt. And the thing about it was,
I don't like that. I don't like that shirt.
Here's the thing, and I'm telling y'all, the reason being is because they're old. It's the exact reason that I was saying.
I just wasn't expecting them to just
did.
Fire like, yeah, you did. Yeah, they theme super sucks. I like DIY. I like the Motor City Machine Guns. It's just like y'all didn't give DIY this push. If y'all had did all this for DIY, they probably would have had a better shot. But now everybody loves DIY. But essentially, even the way they set up those triple threat matches, you had DIY, the Profits, and Pretty Deadly. That was a triple threat. And it's like, all right, it's either
when are the Profits going to get their due?
It's either going to be DIY and Profits because it's not going to be Pretty Deadly. And then the Motor City Machine Guns triple threat match was an instant layup because it was like them, somebody, and A-Town Down Under. And I'm like, A-Town Down Under is only in here as because they are former tag champions. They're not winning. And Motor City Machine Guns essentially won. Yes, DIY. Yeah, they eventually ended up winning the belts because they had to. They debuted to just people just like, We don't know who y'all are all like that. And then it's honestly because of their theme music. That's really what it was. Once the bell rung, that's when the crowd would start getting into them. But it took them many, many weeks of doing that for them to even start getting any like recognition from the crowd. Then once they finally won the tag titles, I mean, we were happy for what, like 2 weeks, because then they got Bloodline, and that was the end of them.
Mm-hmm.
But Motor City Machine Guns, I'm shocked. Like
I'm not.
I'm like you're not. I'm just like, okay, Kitty was right. Like we're gonna get next week DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns and the Old Man Classic. That's gonna be a good ass match. But we know who is winning. Motor City
Machine Gun. That's exactly who is winning.
Oh man! Way to shock me! Way to shock us!
Mm-hmm.
And also tonight's main event, because this better be the main event. This is also a 2-hour Raw, so it ain't really.
It better be.
It ain't really much they can give us. We got Bron Breakker versus Main Event Jey Uso for the IC title, so you know that's gonna be lit. We gonna have Seth freaking Rollins and Big Bronson Reed going face to face. They ain't fighting, but they probably gonna be fighting. And that's essentially it. We got American Made versus LWL in the number one contenders tournament. Then we got AOP and New Day in the other part of the number one contenders tournament. Yep.
Cookies.
Freaking Rollins.
No, Cookies. You are absolutely incorrect. If Penta would have kept
that on one of the podcasts I listened to, they said the same exact thing. They said they love seeing the machine guns like come out. They thought at the same time, man, what if this had been the Lucha Brothers?
Like, if that was the Lucha Brothers, I can guarantee you the Profits would have won that match.
If it was the Lucha Brothers, they would have been on SmackDown unless they want. No, don't put them on Raw because then everybody be like LWL. No,
it would have definitely been the Lucha Bros on SmackDown getting this.
Yeah, put them on SmackDown. Like essentially, this is essentially the what if. What if Penta kept his mouth shut? If Penta kept his mouth shut, this would have been them. Motor City Machine Guns, as much as they can say all they want, they never planned on putting them in NXT. They are an NXT gimmick. They fit NXT. They could have did a little small NXT run and then shown up on the main roster.
Exactly.
There's honestly, I had them for NXT because NXT tag team suck ass.
Needs it. Right. They need to be there.
They need veterans like Motor City Machine Guns doing something down there. But we'll never know because Penta didn't keep his mouth shut. So they picked up the pieces and get to have this main roster run. They get to have this. They said it on purpose. They're making an impact already. Ha, 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 ha. Impact. So we'll see. We'll see. But Raw should be good. I keep forgetting it's a 2-hour Raw. I don't know why I forgot that tonight. So that's why the preview was light. I'm like, why is this preview so light? It's 2 hours, baby. So Main Event Jey Uso, that's a match. And then you got those triple threat matches. So boom, boom. We ain't got no women. I ain't said nothing about no women in there. So they got to give us some women. But if they don't, then we'll be previewing some women tomorrow night when Metaphor takes on Damage Control. So,
There you go. I mean, Raw should be pretty decent with that. Should be pretty decent. You can't beat that, really.
I think they might end up being the ones because now it don't take nothing now to beat the Bloodline because you got Jay back, you got Roman back, and you got Jay and Roman. All it takes is Roman or Jay to show up and be like, baby, oh, who's this?
Yo, speaking.
Interfered. And up that 1, 2, 3, the Machine Guns are the tag champions.
Speaking of Jay, Roman, and the Bloodline, this dude Jay had me crying on Friday. Jay shows up to SmackDown. He's like, I'm not talking to you as main event. I'm talking to you as your brother. He's like, what are you doing to the family? And then your man looks over at Jacob Fatu. Looks over at Jacob Fatu and says, there's a reason we didn't hang out with this nigga.
I love the fact that it's essentially true. It is Paul Heyman ain't there, but he's there.
There's a reason we ain't hang out with.
He said that when they debuted. He's like, where the fuck you found Jacob at?
Right.
He didn't clear our background checks to join the bloodline. Screw your background checks. This is my bloodline now, nigga. That's why I called him Death Row. This is Death Row bloodline, y'all. That's solo.
Nah, this ain't even Death Row bloodline, bro. This right here is like some big red 5 heartbeats type shit. Like they are being right.
Why are you getting the people
really
that
Samoan penitentiary fucking bloodline?
Like he's finding the literal Samoan SWAT team aspect.
Like for real.
Like, no, you're finding the barbaric Samoans. These are the dudes that they don't fight clean. They fight dirty. They fight sadistic. They fight like Alpha and Sika. We don't fight like that no more.
Right.
We've evolved.
Your man is sitting there like, yo, bro, let's not forget this nigga Jacob was in jail. Remember that? That's why we don't fuck with him like that. What's wrong with you?
He looking at him like,
and then your man said, if you keep
he the one that got the record, y'all. Remember that.
Right. He like, yo, and why he keep looking at me like that? I'm gonna punch him in his face. Cause you're gonna have to. Jacob is the one you're gonna have to stall off on first. Because if not,
you gotta let him know you crazy. Because if you don't, he gonna
maul your ass. He gonna maul your ass. So like if I'm gonna be honest with you, if them niggas came up to me, yo, God forbid, Lord, please don't ever let this happen. Please don't ever let this happen, bro. But if they ever ran up on me, I'm letting you know this right now. I'm going Spider Monkey on Jacob first, bro. I'm getting him out the way first. And then after that, I'm getting Jay out the way. I'm not kidding. Roman and Jimmy, I'm leaving for last. Roman a pretty boy. So I know I can leave him for last. He don't want to get hit like that. Jacob and Jay, them two, they gotta go immediately. They gotta go immediately, bro. Like, And then Solo. Because if Big Boy grab me and wrap his arms around me, I'm done. But yeah, Jacob, you gotta go off first. Or you gotta stall off first. Ain't none of that schoolyard will hit me first. Hit me, nah. That man say 3:00 at 2:58. You better punch him in the back of the fucking ear. That's what you better fucking do.
Or have a gun.
Okay. That's what you better do. At 2:58, you better stand up and just swing.
Ha! A gun, a crowbar. And at 2:59, you better be holding it, because at 3:00, you better think.
No, bro. That's why I said at 2:58, swing. He don't let 3:00 hit. Get to that ass before 3:00. Sneak his ass. Ain't no get this motherfucker no fair chance to whip your ass. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't give a grizzly bear a fair chance.
Show up then. I'm gonna be already ready.
Like, you don't give a grizzly bear a fair chance. Are you fucking kidding?
Home tricks, baby. It's gonna be home alone.
I'm gonna be like my man. Data from fucking Goonies when they tried to grab him and that shit popped out. Pictures of power. Yeah, nigga, fuck that. That's gonna be me. Uh uh-uh. uh. And Tito, you already know how I feel about being tossed as a grown man. I ain't down with that shit. So ain't no way in hell I'm letting any of them get a grab on me. Because you are not throwing me. I got something against that. As a man, I don't feel right knowing that another man can toss me. Nah, I'm good. Nope. That's why I'm not a professional wrestler. No, you will not be launching my ass like Rey Mysterio on a lawn dart. Nope. No. But I think we've been sufficiently electrifying. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we previewed Raw, we went over everything, so we'll see y'all tomorrow night for NXT. You know, my favorite show. So I'll be here.
All right. Folks, don't forget you can follow us at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also find us at linktree/Under the Ring Pod and fingertip.com/Under the Ring Pod. There you can find our individual links. Our boy that's usually behind the boards who's resting, getting better. Give him those clicks because he's still going to be writing, folks.
Right.
Our boy Greg Bush SK. Give him those clicks.
Follow him for his Spooktober film.
Right. Don't forget, folks, you still got a couple of days before Halloween comes up, so you can get all of these movies in. Mongo gave you a good 31, maybe 40 movies to pick from.
Yeah,
get into it.
He's been posting them daily, so he might not be on here, but he watching movies and just chilling, getting better.
Right. So that's Greg Bush SK. Then you got me, Rock Ribs 44. You got the teacher man, Mike, Mr. Fresh Beard. Then you got the man with the beard in his hand. Like I said, we're gonna do a podcast where he can just damn it, Naya.
You want some beer too?
Right. She damn sure a little liquorholic. I can tell you that because she be damn trying to drink my damn Douce. Girl, get up here if you're gonna play with her. Go ahead, damn it. The problem is my daughter just came home. So she gets excited when my daughter comes home. That's the thing. And we got the man with the beer in his hand, the right answer. We got our street team captain, the man that ruled Comic-Con this weekend. Killed it with the different styles. Winners Mox one day. Then, if I'm not mistaken, Casey Jones the next.
Puerto Rican Casey Jones.
Puerto Rican Casey Jones. Puerto Rican Casey Jones.
Hey, I did that shit once.
Yeah, I would. I ain't gonna hold you. Damien. That'd be the one time I would have like a crash test dummy if one of these fucking wrestlers decided to throw me. Yeah, I would. I ain't gonna hold you.
Listen, you already know who volunteered at House of Glory.
Yeah, you know what? And I take that back.
Yeah.
And our boy, local correspondent, Justin D. Bagsley. Folks, thank you for joining us. Remember, whatever you do, please be safe. And as always, but I don't know if y'all hear, so we're gonna say it one time. Do the dawn. Hey. Do the dawn. Hey.
Do the dawn, y'all. Shout out Frank Thomas. Get y'all some new Nugenix.